Perfect. So my name is Michelle Osborne. I am the Communications and Program Development Specialist, and I work with the Quebec City Reading Council. And I am joined here today with Gloria, who is from ABC Life Literacy. And I'll let her introduce a little bit more about herself today. But today's topic is all about easy ways to learn at home. And I think it's a time where we could really use this because a lot of parents are trying to find ways for their children to learn at home. Sometimes we don't have a structured educational schedule, but these tips that Gloria is going to give us are ways to be able to have them learn at home without them actually knowing that they're learning, right? Just through everyday things that are easy. So I am just the background singer in this. Gloria is the expert, and she is going to introduce herself, and I'll let you take the wheel, Gloria. Go ahead.
Okay, well, hi everyone. Thanks for having me, Michelle, and thanks to people who will be watching later. So as Michelle said, my name is Gloria. I am the programs coordinator for Quebec and the Maritimes at ABC Life Literacy Canada. And so ABC is a nonprofit that promotes adult learning. We develop and create learning materials and resources written in clear language. We have different types of programs: financial literacy, digital literacy, workplace literacy. And yeah, our vision really is to see a Canada where everyone has the tools and opportunity they need to improve their literacy skills and essential skills. So today we're going to be talking about ways that fun activities that we could be doing at home that parents can be doing with their kids while everyone's spending way more time at home than they usually do.
Yeah, and how can parents really support their child's literacy? What about that?
Yeah, so like one simple way of doing it is just setting time, like getting to the habit of setting time to spend time with kids. So take each time a day, it can be like 15 minutes a day to help improve the child literacy skills. And we know that parents are like the first teacher of their children. So having them seeing you read, they will want to do the same thing. So that could be like setting time aside every day or like once a week or something like that to read with them.
Okay. And what about if a parent is worried about their child's literacy level? Maybe they think they're not reading at the level they should be reading, or they don't know, certain words that they think they should know. Well, how do you navigate that with parents?
Yeah, like I get parents are like would be the best person to notice that about their children. They'll be noticing if they're not learning well, or if they're not enjoying learning. And I think one good way that you could deal with that is maybe to reach out to their teachers, to work in partnership with them to help them improve their skills. And there are so many community literacy programs across Canada that support like adult learners as well. ABC actually has a free online database on our website where you can find programs across Canada where learners can get help. It's called Look Under Learn.
There are people. She's given the thing.
And I can show you the website later.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You want to put it in the chat for everybody? So when we go online, Gloria is going to show us a few things, and then sorry, just one thing. Can everyone I'm just going to turn off everyone's mic just to make sure, because I hear a little bit of noise in the background. So Gloria is going to put in the chat the website link so everybody knows ABC Life Literacy Canada's website, but she's also going to go on there and show us kind of on the screen where some of the programs are located. So let's first talk about some of the literacy focused things that you can do with your kids at home. Run us through a few tips that people can use.
Yeah, okay. So the first activity, it's called Watch a Book. So it's actually reading a book and then watching the movie together. And then you can discuss the version that you prefer. Then obviously there are different types of books that a child can read depending on his age. So for like babies, for instance, it would be better to like start with like board books, like pictures, showing activities that a baby does during the day, like waking up, getting dressed so they can see themselves in that. And then for preschoolers, there are like books that the Bernstein Bears or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. or even the Mary Poppins series that you can read and then watch. I think they adapted in the movie, so that could be a really fun way. And then for younger elementary school children, there's like the 101 Dalmatian or Matilda, which is like classics that children can read again in these times and then watch it. And for teenagers, they like the Harry Potter series. They're like very popular.
Mm-hmm. Well, Harry Potter is actually very popular for adults as well, because I have some friends who are Harry Potter fanatic friends, and they are not teenagers, I will tell you that. So what else can you share with us?
You can also play games. Games are a really fun way to practice literacy skills, and kids may not even notice that they're practicing, like counting or even reading the instructions of the game card or keeping score of like who's winning. So like a really simple game that preschooler can do is like I Spy with My Little Eye. I don't think I've actually played that game, but apparently it's like one player chooses an object and then that everyone can see, and then he goes, oh, I spy with my little eye something that's like red or purple. So that's like a game for preschooler, and games for, I would say, like elementary school children or like older that really help with developing vocabulary and spelling is Word Dynamo. So you say a word and then you ask kids or other people around you to find a word that begins with the last letter of the word that you said. So let's try to play this one. So if I say apple and then someone else say eat, like can you find another word that would?
Toy.
Yes. And then yum.
See, I got it down. I can do that game. That's an easy game for me to do. Maybe not Scrabble so much, but this one I can do. Okay, what else do you have for us?
And also games that can like help with numeracy skills, like board games like Monopoly are really good, or like Uno, or like Phase 10. Phase 10 is kind of I don't think it's similar to Uno, but it was created by the people who came up with Uno. So it's a game where players kind of compete against each other, and they have to come up with like 10 different varied faces, a combination of cards. This one is a little bit tricky. I've played it once, but it's really good for numeracy skills. So.
Oh, that's fun. And I remember you were mentioning to me earlier something about reverso.
Yes, reverso story, yes. Yeah. So this one is about storytelling. So it's about telling your favorite story backwards. You start with the ending and then everyone around you has to guess. Yeah. Do you want to try? Let's try an example. I'll give you a simple one.
Really? You're going to put me on the spot? Okay, let's do that.
Okay, you'll find this one. So it's the story of a girl who recently got married to a prince. And then he organizes a ball. The girl loses one of her magical shoes at the ball. And then the prince can't find her anymore. So she disappears at midnight, and then her fancy dress turns into rags, and she runs away from the castle.
Cinderella.
Yeah, see, this one was easy.
Well, you know what? It might be easy for me, but it's good for certain age groups where they might have to think a little bit. So that's actually a really good one that I never thought about. And I think you have a couple of more to share with us.
I have other activities I can do, like music activities, because singing can be a really good way to help support literacy development. Because like in songs, words are, they're stretched out, they're pronounced really slowly, so a child can really pick them up, and it's also really repeated. So singing with like kids can be a good way to help them with their vocabulary too. There is a game called Sing It To Me. So you play a song and then you pause it and you ask your family to sing the next line.
That's fun.
And there's also another one called Draw What You Hear. So you can play a song and you can ask kids to draw whatever comes to mind. So they can just draw whatever they want. Or also if you play a song and you ask them to, let's say you play a song from a movie that they know, like Let It Go, and then which is like a really famous song for kids, and they can like draw the character, they can draw Elsa or whatever they think of when they hear that song.
Oh, that's a really creative way. But there's a really good way that I don't think people realize, and that is also when people plan trips. There are so many literacy elements in that, and if you can give us an example, that would be great.
Yes, absolutely. Like planning trips, like finding like a place in the city that you want to go. Like now we're obviously spending much more time at home, but they can start thinking about places they want to visit later on, and going online and reading about like the destination, like that whether they like get a book from the library or just going online using Google Maps or Google Street View to see what the place looks like. That's a really good way for them to develop their digital literacy skills, or even writing out the plan or how they're going to get there, or what they're going to do when they're there, or communication skills too, because they'll be telling like their friends or the rest of their family members, oh, we're going to that place when like we're out of quarantine.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't even think about it, but there are so many elements in planning a trip that have to do with numeracy and reading and writing, and the kids, they don't even know that they're learning when you do these things. And they just think it's fun, right? They're like, you know, you could say something like, let's plan our summer trip. Do you want to do it with me? And then you can sit at the computer or you sit at your desk and you pull out all of these different things to get them engaged. But, you know, we are also in a digital age, and a lot of parents, people, caregivers, they use digital tools to work with their kids. So is there stuff online that you could recommend or whatever that parents could use?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's, I recently discovered this channel. It's from this early childhood development behavior specialist, and she has this video for preschoolers that are really cool. So parents can like put that and let the kids just learn from her. I'm gonna show you what this looks like. I'm gonna share my screen and show you what. All right, so it's over here. Her name is Monica J. Sutton. So this is what it looks like.
Good morning. How are you? How are you? Welcome to Circle Time, friends. I'm so excited that you're here today. I can't wait to review our Circle Time board. Oh, ooh. Do you hear that? Listen. Listen. How do I know this thing hears? Chirka, 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 chirka. I hear it.
Yeah, so that's just an example of activities that you can play at home for your children, and they can actually learn from a specialist. And she has different types of programs, and yeah, I believe she does it almost every day of the week. Yeah, she has Monday to like Thursday.
You know why I love this so much? Because during this time, as we have kids learning and we're trying to use different tools, you know, there's sometimes it's really hard to find something for preschool kids, right? Kids over the age of 5, sometimes they already have their things from school, teachers are sending them stuff to do, but for preschool, parents are trying to figure out how to keep them active, interested in things that are fun, but they don't want to sit them down and go through, you know, maybe an exercise in a book. And so, you know, this is interesting because I sent this particular link to a few of my friends, and their children absolutely loved it, like loved it. And, but you know, this is just one of the ways. You do what works for you. You know, we're not suggesting that you have to watch something online or that you have to watch this woman in particular, but really do what works for you. And this is just another way that kids can learn that could be interesting and fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have at ABC a program called HSBC Family Literacy Life that has lots of activities and engaging educational resources that are fun and really easy to integrate into daily life. So it's like completely free program for that brings parents and children together to practice family literacy. I'm going to show you the website in a minute. So the site is fully bilingual. We also have resources in Simplified Chinese, Tagalog, or Arabic, and you can access more than 75 individual stories or activities. We also have like 13 complete module workbooks that are completely free to access. So this is what the website looks like. And you just need to register and you can have access to all of the resources.
And these resources are free?
They're completely free. All of our resources are free. So because I'm already logged in, I think you will be able to see all the resources that we have, but you just go on the website and you click on register and you create an account. It's really easy. So an example of a workbook that we have, the Music of Family, or family dinner, and we have stories and different type of tools that you can find them there in different languages as well.
Wow, you have like a really big database that people can come from, because sometimes you go online and it's just so overwhelming. So it's really nice that you guys have put it in one space for people, because we have a lot of things going on, and sometimes people have more than one child. So this is a good way to be able to go to one space and get it. And of course, we trust ABC Life Literacy. You guys are one of the leaders in literacy resources and tools. So that is great. Now, we're going to switch gears just a little bit, and I want you to talk about just some of the everyday simple tasks that you can do to improve your literacy, whether it's with the kids or it's for adults. But people don't realize that just everyday things can help you with that. So let's talk about some of that.
Yeah, so one really easy way is just cooking. Like just follow the recipe together, like bake a meal or like bake like a dessert. I've been baking a lot ever since like at home, like baking lots of cookies, and or make a shopping list together, or when you're ordering in, you can reviewing the menu. And this is a really good way to practice reading and math. Also bedtime stories, which like lots of parents do, like they're like original ways that you can make it like different or interesting. So as a family, you can like start writing your own sequel to a favorite book, or like change the story, like add new characters or make up a new story. There's a game called Switcheroo. So you take turns in reading the story together. So let's say the dad reads like one sentence and then every member of the family follows, or something like that.
Oh, that's fun. And you were talking about cooking. I mean, there's so many literacy elements in cooking, reading, of course, but numeracy, of course, as well, measurements, all that kind of stuff.
Cuts and all these things. And
yeah, what else? What else is there?
Yeah, and also like going on family walks. I've been trying to walk around to stay sane during this time, and seeing lots of families doing the same in the neighborhood. So one of the ways that you can make it interesting, you can say like, today when we're going to walk, we're going to be practicing reading the name of the streets and other signs in the neighborhood. And when you're back home, you can make a map. Or when you walk and then you notice the name of the street, you can try to find another word that starts with the same letter. Or read the name of the street and try to think of an animal with the same first letter for each street, or something like that.
You know, I started doing that as I'm taking my daughter for walks during the quarantine here to get some fresh air. And, you know, stopping her at corners to make sure, of course, we cross the road without cars going by. But now I'm saying, stop. And I point to the stop sign. So now when she goes to the stop sign, she looks at it, she's like, stop. Is there a car? So and it really, I think it took her like 1 or 2 times, and now she recognizes the word stop. And she's only 3 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think there was, well, what about sorting laundry too? Because my daughter loves to sort laundry with me. It's not always fun for me. It takes like a long time. But you know, there are some literacy elements in there too that people don't realize.
Absolutely. You can like even identify like shapes. That's kind of like numeracy skills, and be like, oh, this t-shirt is like in this shape, or there's a drawing on this shirt. That could be in a good way. They also can be counting, like counting the clothes as you're sorting them, or matching the colors, matching the different type of socks, for instance. And that's really helpful because when you do laundry, you can lose socks. So they can be helping you with the matching.
We always lose socks, and we're counting. And sometimes I can't find the sock and it's under the couch because my daughter's counting socks. But, you know, I really want to stress to people that, you know, we learn in different ways. And there's no right or wrong way to learn. And especially with kids, especially with younger kids, I think it's really important just to find everyday things that you can connect with them in your life, especially now that we're all, you know, together 24 hours a day and we're always looking for things to do. You know, just simple things that they don't realize that they're learning. I think it's really important in this time because, you know, we also want to keep the habit going of children learning while they're not in school. So fun things to do for toddlers, interesting things to do for adults as well, and everyone in between. Is there anything lastly you want to say about literacy and incorporating it into your daily life?
I was just thinking of another activity kind of similar to sorting laundry, like emptying the dishwasher. It's kind of the same thing as they're sorting it. They can also like count and like learn how to spell the utensils and things like that. Really simple things. So I just wanted to add that it's simple. It's in everything that we're doing. We just don't realize it because we're so used to doing that.
You're right. That's exactly it. And as we kind of get used to this new normal of working virtually and connecting with people online, I think it's really important that we stay connected with each other as well. And I'm just going to ask anybody, if you have questions, that was fast, right? But I hope you learned something. Does anybody have any questions? No. Okay, well, everybody, I hope you learned something from this session that you could take, use it in your organizations, use it at home, and we will be back with more, I think, to help you kind of get used to your new normal. Thank you, Gloria, for joining us today and giving us some helpful tips. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we hope to see you again in another webinar soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.